Hi guys, welcome back to Green and Wolf Games, your edutainment gaming channel. Today we're going to have a look at the 5 things Nintendo should do in 2021. We hope you stick around to the very end and enjoy what you've seen so far. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell for more videos. We dedicate this video to all our subscribers. Thank you for the support. The good old Wii U. If, like myself, you're one of the 20 people on this planet that bought this console, then surely you'll remember what a delight it was to purchase games from its eShop. How everything was organized, everything was easy to find, it was aesthetically pleasing and a joy to use. You knew how much balance you had on it, the user interface was a lot more approachable, there was a news segment. What a time to be alive. But we really can't carry on this segment without mentioning the main breadwinner of the Nintendo household between 2012 and 2017, the 3DS. Now there's customization, folders, themes, anything you wanted. You could even change the little icons. And in a way, it's weird to see that the Switch has been out for almost 4 years and we still haven't received any update that would allow us to change it, and we're still stuck with black and white, which is great, but considering where we've come from as consumers, I mean, look at this is beautiful. Although, to give them some credit, they're getting better at it. I mean, recently we got the online logo on the homepage. The paid subscription allows you to back up your saves onto their cloud service, which for a portable hybrid like the Switch is a must. And plus, to be able to carry around Super Nintendo and original NES games on the go is pretty sick. But then there's not having enough filing system to put your games in order, and your games are everywhere. And the eShop on the Switch is an uphill struggle just to find a game to buy. It's absolutely rubbish. But then again, Nintendo, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Do you ever get that feeling that you have more money in your My Nintendo account than in real life? Yeah, me too. But then again, he seems happy. And this is my point. The systems are there, they are somewhat in place. It would just be great if they did release more themes, or themes in general, and we could use these coins that just end up collecting dust. Sure, I'm nitpicking here, and it seems like a very minuscule thing to moan about, but it's just the fact that we previously had the option, and now we just simply don't. At least not yet. This is the story about love, betrayal, loss, and usurping the crown. And rightfully so as well. You see, kids, back in the late 80s, Sony approached Nintendo and said, "Hey, let's make games together." And Nintendo accepted. Whilst at that time, behind Sony's back, they were working with Panasonic to create the dreaded CDI. Although this did not impede Sony to go solo, and slowly but surely, the Sony empire expanded and dipped its feet into the gaming industry and grew and became the household name that we know today, gaining its lion's share of the market around the world and especially in Japan. All the hard work paid off, and by the time the 8th generation cycle arrived, the PlayStation 4 managed to reach the very top of sales thanks to its loyal fan support and exclusive software. Meanwhile, the Xbox One had to play catch up throughout the entire generation, mainly because of a mediocre launch caused by subjects that angered the fans, including the price tag. And Nintendo, unfortunately, not knowing how to properly market the Wii U, it suffered from identity crisis and just fell into obscurity. And so, as the old saying goes, when you lose, don't lose the lesson. Nintendo learned a lot from the successes and failures from the Wii U and came up with the concept of a hybrid console, the Nintendo Switch. This also brought back a lot of third-party support, which we didn't see that much on the Wii U. During around the same time, the concept of cross-platform gaming had taken fruition, meaning that players who had different consoles could play on the same games. Sony did not want to take part, making Microsoft and Nintendo come together and create a very particular campaign known as Better Together, which basically promoted and encouraged cross-platform gaming with the compatible software. This also cemented the relationship between both parties, meaning that we would get more and more first-party support from the Xbox. And this could be just a glimpse of what's to come. Now, moving forward, it would be great to see Microsoft and Nintendo working together, as this synergy would benefit them both. Microsoft could use the Nintendo Switch as a platform to promote more of their library through Game Pass, and that would help Microsoft as well in return by expanding into the Japanese market, where it has a very small presence. Let's give us a rare replay with Donkey Kong. And what a year we've got ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. So many celebrations, so many birthdays, although it's still early days in the year to see which of these franchises get the tribute they deserve. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there watching this video at the moment thinking, wow, that game's older than me. Or maybe not. Now, concerning Nintendo games, let's have a little think here. Now, consider how many anniversaries we've got: Donkey Kong, Pokemon, Metroid, and the Zelda franchise. Now, these are big hitters, and hopefully each franchise gets a bit of love, and we get a lot of merchandise, new games, and so forth. But realistically, out of the aforementioned, how many of them are Nintendo really going to focus on? Because this is the thing. Not all franchises were created equally. And I'm not a betting man, but if I had to place bets here, I would guarantee that the franchises are going to get the most love this year in terms of celebrations are probably going to be Zelda and Pokemon. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but you know, not a lot of franchises like Donkey Kong get to 40 all the time. And yeah, bearing in mind the real life events as well, we can't forget about that have affected all of us. But you know, the year's young and see what happens. Now you see, what doesn't help is looking back at the 35th anniversary of Super Mario, and then the imagination and expectations get the best of you, and you start to think, I wonder they'll do this. Oh, but they're gonna do that. And then you wish for it and hope it really comes true. Sorry about that, it had to be done. But yeah, moving on. Now, this game really surprised me when it first came out. The amount of content, how fun it was. You can play online, and as far as exclusives go, you can put a lot of hours into this game, and it surely deserves a sequel. Right, EA, sit down please, we need to talk. This trilogy needs to come to the Switch right now. You like money, we've got money, just do it, please. Come on. One of the best things that came out of 2020 concerning gaming is when 2K released 3 colossal collections on the same day. And this is why I've kind of picked these games, because they belong in everyone's library, regardless what your gaming tastes are like. You've got hours upon hours of gaming at the palm of your hands. Like, just bear with me 1 second. Just imagine for 1 second having the Arkham series at the palm of your hands on the go. Now, how good does that sound? Yeah, you're thinking about it? Of course you are. These are the kind of games that you definitely need in your library on the go. All 3, whether they're released separately or not, as a compilation. I don't know about you, but nothing makes me happier than to see blockbusters from yesteryear coming to the little hybrid that could, or maybe the next Switch, which is rumored to come out, that will be able to play bigger, more demanding games. Now, how good does that look? Hi Capcom, I read the memo. At the time of editing, please don't sue. Moving on. One of the best things about bringing back old games is that you bring them to a new audience. And not just that, it's the fact that if they get released physically, you can have it essentially forever and they're not tied down to just one console, as we've seen so many games in the past. And Beautiful Joe is a prime example of a game that could use a lick of paint, be remastered, and be ported to every single console on the market. As long as I'm asking for stuff, why not? Also Borderlands 3 and Golden Sun Collection, please. Right, this is the last section of the video. If you're still with us, you're my new best friend. So anyway, let's carry on watching. Every single console goes through a system refresh. The Switch is no different. For some time now, there's been tons of rumors circulating all over the internet mentioning a Switch Pro, and I managed to find exclusive pictures of it. Have a look. Close enough. Seriously now, there's a few things I think that Nintendo need to address, and I'm sure they will, but needless to say, I'm sure a lot of you are going to feel the sentiment here. Now, here we have an example. I managed to modify my Joy-Con with a metal clip so it doesn't come off, which is great, how it should be. Now this is one that came with a console. The clip is made of plastic, and after some time the Switch becomes a ballista. Pew pew pew. The main problem with the Switch is by far the famous Joy-Con drift, which has cost Nintendo quite a lot in terms of fan base and financially, and it's been going on for ages. It's escalated, it's snowballed, and from time to time you see articles online about how someone has gone to court and managed to win, which is a bit mad really, but you know, like, I've tried to personally fix the issue myself, and it's an inherent problem with the design, but I'm not going to get into the schematics of it. The fact of the matter remains that this is the main thing that Nintendo needs to address before even considering releasing anything else into the market, especially when you consider that this inherent problem exists even in the Switch Lite. Now, on the plus side, they have tried to fix the problem by offering different quality programs at different parts of the world, also by reducing the cost of each Joy-Con. So yeah, it's a work in progress. The dock scratches the screen, if I'm going to get picky about it. The cartridges are 32 gigabytes. They were supposed to be 64, but it got delayed. High performance games such as Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Resident Evil 7 were launched as a streaming service in Japan, with more to come. But bearing in mind that the Switch is mainly used as a portable device, unless you got really good bandwidth and internet, it defeats the purpose, which means all the effort has to go into the actual hardware, the heart of the console. And hopefully this will allow for games that require high performance to play on the console, and thus bridging the gap between the last generation and the generation just in front of us. How all of this is going to manifest is yet to be seen. It's exciting to contemplate what is yet to come. I'm just hoping that at least we get to play GBA games and N64 games on the Switch. And that's it, guys. This is the end of the video. I'd like to thank you for enduring my annoying voice, and I hope that this has become both enjoyable and recreational and educational. And if you did like what you saw, please don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and maybe pop down a comment to say what would you like to see in the future. And remember, keep on gaming.